2015. The public hearing agenda item is the purpose of the hearing is to consider the proposed 2015 budget prepared by the City of Forest Park of Hamilton County, Ohio for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2015. Councilwoman Herbie, you want to get us started?
Yes. The budget this year is balanced for the current year. We are going to be having some concerns in 2016, particularly in the fire fund, as we're spending down the balance there. And that accounts for the majority of the cash balance drawdown this current year. And in later years, 16, 17, and beyond, we're also going to be challenged in the general fund. And if there are any specifics, well, okay, somebody just passed me something. The recommended budget reflects an increase in revenue due to the income tax credit reduction. The resources exceed the appropriations budgeted for 2015. The details of the budget are outlined online, and there's an overall increase in budget from 2014 to 15 of $2,035,365. The majority of this increase is from the restoration of capital project spending. Several capital projects were completed in 2014, as well as there's going to be less future spending planned for 2015. The operating budget, as I said, is structurally balanced for 2015, and the Finance Department's continuing to work towards structurally balancing it for the 5 years that we project out. The general fund, which is the primary fund of the city, maintains a balanced budget between estimated resources and appropriations or expenditures. The funds that are presented utilizing cash reserves are the street fund, the state highway fund, the fire levy fund, the fire trust fund, the stormwater management utility fund, law enforcement trust fund, law enforcement grant fund, court automation fund, Carroll and TIF fund, and a fire capital improvement fund, economic development fund, healthcare reserve trust fund, and refundable fees fund. Each of these funds are for programs or capital projects that we intended to spend down. And as I said, the current balance is structurally the current budget is structurally balanced, but the challenge is primarily in the fire fund for next year.
Okay, any questions or comments? Anyone else have any questions or comments? Anybody else have anything to add? Anybody from our public have anything to add? Anything from you, Mr. Hodges?
I'd only add that we've worked with each department to prepare this budget, and it's a tight budget for every department. We pretty much have held the line. There is a salary adjustment throughout the budget that represents about 2% for the union and non-union positions. All the contracts are covered, and we will be able to operate successfully, as it was mentioned earlier. We're in reasonably good shape with the general fund. Council will have to make some very serious decisions in 2015 as it relates specifically to the fire fund. But with that, we are certainly able to operate, and even with the fire fund, we will be able to operate through 2015. But decisions will have to be made in 2015. You cannot go beyond 2015 with the fire fund under its current conditions.
Anything from anybody else? If there are no further comments or questions, the public hearing is now closed. City of Forest Park City Council meeting number 1241.
Of the United States of America
Clerk, call the roll, please.
Burns. Here. Howard. Here. Kirby. Here. Holt. Here. Johnson.
Here.
Live. Here. Stefan.
Here. Here. Item number 2, the minutes. You have copies of the minutes. Are there any corrections or additions to the minutes? Hearing none. Item number 3 is a presentation. December business of the month, La Fiesta Mexico, Mr. Paul Brown.
Mayor, members of council, thank you very much. As you know, a key component of our program of work is the redevelopment of vacant or underdeveloped properties. Fortunately for us, the owners of our December Business of the Month stepped forward recently to renovate and reopen a vacant restaurant building in the heart of our community. La Fiesta Mexico recently opened at the corner of West Kemper and Winton Roads. The owners made a significant investment to acquire the property and renovate the space. The end result is an inviting and enjoyable restaurant experience. Of course, it is the quality of the food that ultimately makes any restaurant successful. If you go to La Fiesta Mexico, be prepared to enjoy some of the best Mexican food on this side of town. You can find all of your favorites, including mouthwater. Okay, this is where I always get into trouble with everybody because I didn't bring any food with me. We always include favorites like mouthwatering enchiladas, tacos, burritos, tostadas, and chimichangas. They even have some great combination platters. Whether you like beef, chicken, or seafood, there are plenty of excellent choices on the menu. The restaurant includes a great children's menu for the younger ones and a full-service bar for the adults, making La Fiesta a great place for your next family dinner or your upcoming holiday office party. As a matter of fact, our Economic Development Commission plans to do exactly that on Wednesday evening when we get together for our annual holiday celebration at La Fiesta for dinner. Indeed, everyone on the EDC wanted to call attention to this family-owned and operated business and thank them for taking what had been a vacant building and converting it into a first-class but affordable restaurant. On behalf of the Commission and everyone on our development team, it is our pleasure to recognize La Fiesta Mexico as our December Business of the Month. And I talked to Isabel Friday. She told me she may not be able to be here because, of course, she's working. So I will go ahead and run this over to them and present them with the award. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. The next item on the agenda, communications from the public. This is a time for citizens to comment on items before council or to ask questions of concern to them. When recognized, please come forward to the podium, give your name and address, and then state your comments or questions. Council meetings are tape recorded for ease of transcriptions. Comments are limited to 5 minutes. Seeing no one from the public here, we'll move to item number 5, reports of standing committees. The first of those reports will be Public Safety Committee. Mr. Lives.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just wanted to indicate that the fire department has, again, on their line, put through decorating safety for the holidays. We certainly don't want anybody's holiday ruined with a fire, and there are certain problems that can be developed, especially as I saw one year putting like 15 cords into one extension. And there's a lot of other tips that they give you. Be careful. One that I didn't realize, since we've got 2 dogs, is that be careful if the tree is in a location where it falls over, it'll cause a problem. And of course, this is with candles or lighting or heating sources. So everybody, please be safe for the holidays. I'd like to wish the rest of council and certainly the residents a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and a pleasant and blessed holiday season. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any questions for Mr. Lives? Hearing none, Mr. Lives, I have no items on the agenda for the work session, the next work session. And keep in mind, everybody, the next work session will be January 5th, 2015. As of the end of business tonight, we will be on recess through January 4th, and we resume business on the 5th. Mr. Lives, you have any item for that meeting?
Not at this time.
Okay. Next report is Public Improvement and Facilities. Mr. Southall?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. And I'd like to make a couple items for us to report. Firstly, the streetscape, the Northland Streetscape Design Project bidding took place on November 6th of 2014, where 4 bids were received, and the apparent low bidder was Pruce Construction. The bid came in below the engineer's estimate, and the construction will begin spring of 2015 with major work completed during the calendar year. Additional work, including the final course of asphalt and the project completion, will be 2016. The second item I'd like to report is, as a member liaison for the Recreation Commission, the annual Breakfast with Santa will be held Saturday, this coming Saturday, December the 20th at 9 a.m. at the Forest Park Frisch's at Chase Plaza Drive. So that ends my report, Mr. Mayor, and if there's any question, I'd be happy to fill in questions.
Any questions for Mr. Southall? Hearing none, Mr. Southall, at this point, I have no items for you. Do you have any to add?
No, sir, not at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next report is Ways and Means Committee, Councilwoman Herbie.
Yes, I want to thank Paul Brim for the Economic Development Committee report, or Economic Development report that he had in the departmental reports, and draw attention to his review of economic development in Forest Park. He indicated that over the last 2 years, $30 million has been invested by businesses that have either been retained or brought into the city. And that has amounted to the retention of between 1,000 and 1,300 new old jobs, current jobs, and an addition of over 400 new jobs. And there are a number of business opportunities in the pipeline that could result in $30 to $40 million of investment, retaining 63 jobs and possibly adding 290 new jobs. So we're hoping that that in the next year we'll see some of those things come through. And then I would also, this is a holiday celebration time for many of our residents. Hanukkah starts tomorrow night, and I wish all our Jewish residents happy Hanukkah and a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year and Happy Kwanzaa to all our residents. That would conclude my report.
Any questions for Councilwoman Herbie? Hearing none, Councilwoman Herbie, I have no items on the agenda for you at this time. Do you have any to add?
No, sir.
Thank you. Next standing committee report is Community Development. Mr. Burns?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have nothing to add to the reports this evening. However, I would answer any questions if there are any.
Any questions for Mr. Burns? Hearing none, Mr. Burns, I have no items for you. Do you have any to add?
No, thank you.
Next report would be Law Committee. Councilwoman Cottle.
I have no report this evening, but I would like to I'd like to wish the Forest Park residents and their families a very Merry Christmas and a happy, healthy, prosperous New Year. I'm honored to be a public servant since I was 10 years old when I served at St. Mary's Hospital in Huntington, West Virginia as a candy striper and a licensed registered nurse, a certified life care planner, and on the Forest Park Council. And if I can be of any assistance, please let me know. Thank you.
Any questions for Councilwoman Cottle? Hearing none, Councilwoman Cottle, I have no items on the agenda for the work session for you. Do you have any to add?
Thank you.
The next committee report is Human Resources Committee. Councilwoman Holt.
I did not have a human resource report tonight, but I would like to wish all of the Forest Park residents and anybody that's listening in a very, very happy and safe holiday season.
Any questions for Councilwoman Holt? Councilwoman Holt, I have no items on the agenda for you. Do you have any to add?
I would like to, and I want to be the dead horse down, but there's a paragraph on this rental agreement that I don't totally understand or agree with, and I would like to know if, that couldn't be discussed just a little bit.
On the, you mean the rental for the property, the senior centers?
Yeah, for the centers, the senior citizen and the activity center.
Okay. Mr. Hodges will place that on the agenda for the work session. I think probably that would be under public improvements and facilities, since that's Parks and Rec. Okay?
Right.
The next report is Intergovernmental Relations and Communications Committee. That would be mine. I have no report under that, except to say that this year, the mayor's court, all concerned, the magistrate, prosecutor, public defender, our police officers, everybody involved with that court has done an outstanding job, and that court is working, running very smoothly, and the improvements have been outstanding. So to all those people, I say thank you for a very good year, and look forward to things continuing to get better. That would end my report. I would answer any questions if there are any. Next report is the mayor's report. As others have said, I wish everybody a very healthy, happy, and prosperous and safe holiday season. I would also like to thank the people at Process Plus. I was invited to attend their Christmas party for the We People last week. I believe this was their 8th or 9th annual party for the little daycare kids, and every year it just seems that it gets better and better. And again, for those of you who have not had an opportunity to go to attend that, please, if you can make time to do it next year, please do. It's one of those things where you come away feeling good about yourself, but about people in general. When you see so much giving taking place, these people, these employees of that company go all out, give of themselves to make sure that these young children have a great Christmas, a great holiday season. And again, I just want to thank them for doing that, and thank them for inviting me and other members of the city council and staff to be there to take part in that activity. That would end my report. I will answer any questions if there are any. Hearing none, the next item on the agenda is the city manager's report. Mr. Hodges.
Thank you. I'll report two things. First, that the departmental reports are on file with the clerk of council. They're available to the general public for public inspection, and they have been provided to the city council. I would also report that the Records Commission met this evening at 7:30. There was very little business come before the commission. We did note that for our log of activity this year, we've had a total of 8 official records requests, which is a relatively small number for us at this point in time. But nevertheless, the Records Commission did fulfill its requirement of completing a minimum of 2 meetings for the year, and that would conclude my report, but I would respond to any questions if there are any.
Any questions for Mr. Hodges? Hearing none, thank you, sir. Go to item number 8, other reports. First of those would be Law Director, Mr. Wyckoff.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Since the last meeting, there has been, unfortunately, a spike in our bankruptcy activities, different things going on, but of 4 claims, I was able to resolve each of them favorable to the city. And also, I gave Mr. Hodges an opinion tonight, a written opinion regarding what we can do to better control activities at these nightclubs that are experiencing problems. And I'm sure he'll be sharing that with you, and perhaps after the break for the holiday season, we'll be able to discuss and see what, if anything else, we might want to do regarding those issues. But other than that, that would be the end of my report.
Thank you, sir. Any questions for the Law Director? Hearing none, the next report would be Clerk of Council, Mrs. Huffman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to report that ordinance numbers 15-2014 through 17-2014 and resolution numbers 39-2014 through 46-2014 were posted as required. And that concludes my report.
Any questions for Clerk of Council? Hearing none, thank you, Ms. Hoffman. We move to Article number 9, unfinished business. Is there a motion, Mr. Lives?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move to suspend the rules requiring the reading in full on 2 separate days and read for the second time by title only ordinance number 17, 2014. This ordinance was read for the first time by title only at the December 1st, 2014 council meeting.
Second.
It's been moved and second that we suspend the rules requiring the reading in full and read for the second time by title only, ordinance 17-2014. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk call the roll on the motion to suspend?
Burns.
Yes.
Cottle.
Yes.
Herbie.
Yes.
Holt.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes?
Lives.
Yes.
Sathal.
Yes.
The motion to suspend the rules has passed 7-0. First item on the unfinished business, item A, ordinance number 17-2014. Would the clerk please read that ordinance by title only?
Ordinance number 17-2014, an ordinance appointing John R. Wyckoff, attorney at law, as solicitor, law director, and prosecutor, and authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract for the provision of legal services.
Is there a motion, Councilwoman Cottle?
Yes, I move to adopt ordinance number 17-2014.
Second.
It's been moved and second that we adopt ordinance 17-2014. Is there discussion? Councilwoman Cottle.
The only thing I would like to say, because it was all covered in the ordinance, is that John serves our city well of Forest Park, and thank you, John.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk call the roll on ordinance 17-2014?
Cottle.
Yes.
Herbie.
Yes.
Holt.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Lives.
Yes.
Sathal.
Yes.
Burns.
Yes.
Ordinance 17-2014 passes 7-0. Next order of business is new business, item number 10. Is there a motion, Mr. Lives?
Yes, sir. I move to suspend the rules requiring the reading in full on 2 separate days and read for the first time by title only ordinances number 18, 2014 through 20, 2014. These ordinances were posted 6 days prior to the meeting.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we suspend the rules requiring reading in full on 2 separate days and read for the first time by title only ordinances number 18-2014 through 20-2014. Is there a discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk call the roll on the motion?
Herbie.
Yes.
Holt.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Lives.
Yes.
Sathal.
Yes.
Burns.
Yes.
Cottle.
Yes.
Motion to suspend the rules passes 7-0. First item on the new business is ordinance number 18-2014. Would the clerk please call the roll, please read that by title only?
Ordinance number 18-2014, making appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Forest Park, state of Ohio, during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2015.
Is there a motion, Councilwoman Herbie?
Yes, I would move adoption of ordinance number 18-2014.
Second.
Moved and second that we adopt ordinance 18-2014. Is there any discussion? Councilwoman Herbie.
Yes, this is the budget motion that we had a public hearing on just before this meeting, and I want to provide some highlights of this budget. This is a balanced budget. The general fund as proposed constitutes $10,838,973 in expenses and $10,854,121 in expected revenues. We have, in order to balance this, there have been various adjustments. One of those is in the contingency. We've dropped that from $100,000 to $40,000. There is some hiring in this. There's a proposed hiring of one police officer for an existing vacancy and, or scheduled retirement, and filling 2 vacancies in the finance department due to promotions, and that's replacing a tax assistant and accounts payable associate. Other staffing of note is there are 3 full-time slots budgeted for the fire fund, and that will have to be reviewed. There's plans to replace 2 fire staff vehicles this next year, and we also have demolition of approximately 6 houses at an estimated cost of about $54,000. The $3.5 million Northland Boulevard redevelopment is also included in there, but the majority of that is coming from outside grants. Other capital improvements include land bank costs, economic development, business retention and incentives, playground equipment, and tax courts. We're working on a stream bank grant project for next year. We're planning on continuing leasing police vehicles over the next year. There are some funds that may show a deficit, but these are basically special purpose funds where this is planned spend down. There's an overall increase in health benefits of less than 1%, and salary costs of living are 2%, which is across the board, which is consistent with the surrounding, and utilities are budgeted at an increase of about 5%. So I would urge adoption of this ordinance.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on ordinance number 18, 2014?
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Lives,
Yes.
Southall,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Cottle,
Yes.
Herbie.
Yes.
Ordinance 2014 passes 7-0. Next item on the agenda is item B, ordinance 19-2014. Would the clerk please read that by title only?
Ordinance number 19-2014, amending annual 2014 appropriation ordinance 14-2014.
Is there a motion, Councilwoman Herbie?
Yes, I would move adoption of ordinance number 19-2014.
Second.
Moved and second that we adopt ordinance 19-2014. Is there a discussion, Councilwoman Herbie?
This is really a pretty typical ordinance at the end of the year where we just do some reappropriations within line items, generally within funds that occurs at the end of the year. It's just very typical. So I would urge adoption of this ordinance.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll for ordinance 19-2014?
Johnson,
Yes.
Lives,
Yes.
Southall,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Cottle,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt.
Yes.
Ordinance number 19-2014 passes 7-0. Next item is item C, ordinance number 20-2014. Would the clerk please read that ordinance by title only?
Ordinance number 20-2014, an ordinance appointing Darren E. Nye, Attorney at Law, as Public Defender and authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract for the provision of legal services and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion, Councilwoman Herbie?
Yes, I would I would move adoption of ordinance number 20-2014.
It's been moved and second that we adopt ordinance number 20-2014. Is there a discussion?
This is, again, another typical ordinance that we do at the end of the year when we renew contracts of a number of people. We already talked about the law director. This is the renewal of the contract for the public defender and at compensation of $50 an hour, and I would urge adoption of this resolution.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk call the roll on ordinance 20-2014?
Lives,
Yes.
Southall,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Cottle,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. Ordinance 20-2014 passes 7-0. Is there a motion? Mr. Lives.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move to suspend the rules requiring the reading in full and read resolutions number 47-2014 through 50-2014 by title only. These resolutions were posted 6 days prior to our meeting.
Second.
It's been moved and second that we suspend the rules requiring the reading in full and read resolutions 47, 2014 through 50, 2014 by title only. Is there any discussions? Hearing none, would the clerk call the roll on the motion to suspend?
Southall,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Cottle,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Lives.
Yes.
Motion to suspend the rules passes 7-0. Next item on the agenda is item D, resolution number 47, 2014. Would the clerk please read that resolution by title only?
Resolution number 47-2014, authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract between the City of Forest Park and the Fraternal Order of Police, Ohio Labor Council, Inc., Police Dispatchers Clerks.
Is there a motion, Mr. Lives?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move to pass resolution number 47-2014.
Second.
It's been moved and second that we adopt resolution 47, 2014. Is there a discussion? Mr. Lives?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. This resolution involves the 3-year labor agreement renewal with our police clerks. The general wage increase is 2%, which is consistent with the other labor agreements that the city has made. One thing that should be noted is there's an additional personal day involved in this agreement for perfect attendance. And this agreement gives a little more flexibility in the way that the insurance coverage is involved. So I would ask for passage.
Any further discussions? Hearing none, would the clerk call the roll on resolution 47, 2014?
Burns,
Yes.
Cottle,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Lives.
Yes.
Southall.
Yes.
Resolution 47, 2014 passes 7-0. Next item on the agenda, item E, resolution number 48-2014. Would the clerk please read that resolution by title only?
Resolution number 48-2014, amending the resolution setting rates of pay for civil and non-civil service employees.
Is there a motion, Councilwoman Herbie?
Yes, I would move adoption of resolution number 48-2014.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt resolution 48-2014. Is there discussion, Councilwoman Herbie?
Yes, whenever we have a salary agreement that's entered into, we have to also do a companion resolution to adjust the rates of pay that we have in our codes, and that's what this resolution would do. So I would urge adoption of this resolution.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on resolution 48-2014?
Cottle,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Lives.
Yes.
Southall,
Yes.
Burns.
Yes.
Resolution 48-2014 passes 7-0. Next item on the agenda is item F, resolution number 49-2014. Would the clerk please read that resolution by title only?
Resolution number 49-2014, a resolution extending a moratorium on use and occupancy applications and permits for child daycare services, Type A, family daycare homes, and religious organizations.
Is there a motion, Mr. Burns?
Yes, I move for passage of resolution 49-2014.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt resolution 49-2014. Is there discussion, Mr. Burns?
Yes, we're coming to the end of an existing moratorium that was adopted at the June 16th council meeting on the current allowances of church and daycare centers going into shopping centers and office centers. The moratorium was necessary because we're seeing more of these types of uses in a manner that may conflict with the intended use of certain business centers and may serve to destabilize the economic balance of the land uses within the planned community or our planned community. Additional time is needed to study this phenomenon and its impact on the land uses and zoning capability. Therefore, the team is requesting that time to complete the study as it relates to this matter and to develop a concise recommendation on the issue. The zoning, the study of the zoning is still going on, and the Planning Commission is preparing for a more formal recommendation at the end of the 6 months that this resolution would allow. And it would also give opportunity for more public input and getting, a solid recommendation from the team. And with that, I would urge adoption of Resolution 49-2014.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk call the roll on Resolution 49, 2014?
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Lives,
Yes.
Sathal,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Cottle.
Yes.
Resolution 49, 2014 passes 7-0. Next item on the agenda, item G, Resolution 50-2014. If the clerk would please read the resolution by title only.
Resolution number 50-2014, a resolution authorizing and directing the city manager to negotiate services and enter into an agreement with the Ohio Attorney General's Office for general revenue debt collection of delinquent city obligations assigned to them by the city.
Is there a motion, Councilwoman Herbie?
Yes, I would move adoption of resolution number 50-2014.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt resolution number 50-2014. Is there discussion, Councilwoman Herbie?
Yes, the fire department and finance department are recommending that we utilize the Ohio Attorney General's Office as a vendor for our general debt revenue collection. And this would be an additional vendor, and some of the advantages are that they would charge a lower collection fee. They also would have more authority to go after debtors and be able to see such things as lottery winnings. So I'd urge adoption of this resolution.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk call the roll on 50-2014?
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Lives,
Yes.
Sathal,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Cottle,
Yes.
Herbie.
Yes.
Resolution 54-2014 passes 7-0. Next item on the agenda is item H. It's a motion, Councilwoman Herbie.
Yes, I would move to receive the general fund summary report as contained in the departmental reports.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we receive the general fund summary report as contained in the departmental reports. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, let it be known by the sign of voting aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes unanimously. Is there any other business to come before the body? Any other business to come before the body? Before we adjourn, I would like to thank Clerk of Council for the poinsettias. I think these are, yeah. Thank you very much. And please, councils, please take these home with you. And if there's no other business, we're adjourned.